parking in the museum district for the last 45 years. Got it? Okay. And we have a neighborhood association who has petitioned the city to put in a yard parking ordinance. Now, I have not seen any violations of that except on one yard that shows the grass is down. The organization is organized by a bunch of people who are new in the neighborhood and a lot of developers. But the big thing is the law was not followed. They have not posted their signs. They came down after the protest. They've not been posted since then. And by law, I understand after reading it needs to be posted until you all make your vote. And to my knowledge, you guys haven't done it, or I wouldn't be here. But I'm going to ask you to decline your application, or at least send it back. It is a very big hardship on our poor neighborhood. I don't know if all of you know where the area is. It's just north of Herman Park, south of 59. And the packet has a map in the back showing the City Club boundaries and the area that they're targeting. The area they're targeting is a very old neighborhood, 90 plus years, and it's transitioning from a poor neighborhood to a more wealthy neighborhood via the townhouses. The impact on people like myself is very much because I am one of those people who owns more than automobiles, and the family owns boats and motorcycles and all those things that the ordinance says is illegal to park in your side yard. I see it as a way that we are taxed, not only with the higher and best use HCAD taxing, but to use our property, we must have a prescribed deal. I'm talking with the planning department. The man said, unless, not the planning, but the permit guy, he says unless planning tells him to give a permit, he wouldn't say who you could get a permit. That's notwithstanding, they didn't follow the law, and I think I would love for you guys to send it back to them. In our neighborhood, there's many of us who have lived here for many years, and the diversity has always been a live and let live neighborhood. There's, I lost my place, guys. The surfaces in our neighborhood, in our housing, a lot of them have shell and stuff like that, and the planning department's letter to me specifically outlawed that. On my front page was held on with paper clips on the folder I gave you. These are some changes to the ordinance that I think would make a big difference in some cases.
Thank you, ma'am. Your time has expired. Thank you.
There are council members with questions or comments. Another member of your civic association has been down here and raised the issue of whether all of the requirements of the ordinance were properly followed, and I have held up bringing it out of the council as we went back through to determine whether all the rules have been met. The issue that's been raised is whether the signs were properly documented and whether they stayed for the duration. If you read through the ordinance, and the ordinance predates me as a council, so I didn't write the ordinance, but if you read through the ordinance, there are a number of different steps that have to be taken. The signs are the first step, but the key element of the ordinance is that every household in the proposed no parking in yards district has to receive formal notice from the planning department. We don't leave it to the civic association to make that notification. We don't depend on 4 signs on the 4 corners of the neighborhood. We depend on the notice to council members. I believe that the due diligence period has resulted in a recommendation that we go forward with the proposed ordinance. I will be sharing all of that, the facts gathered with City Council, but I wanted you to be aware that the key element is, has every property owner been given the notice and the opportunity to protest? It's the vote of council that actually creates the no parking in yards district, and it is up to each council member to decide if the preponderance of support is for the ordinance or against the ordinance, and so all of that information will be presented to council. Brooks.
Thank you, Mayor. Ms. Boone, I know that we talked before. There were some things that you said that you lost your point at one point in time. Just then, did you find it to come back to you? All right. Well, listen. If it did, now I understand about the signs being down, but you told me something a while back, and it really stuck with me about your property taxes. How are you paying your property taxes?
I'm paying with my social security, of course.
So you're paying a tax with a,
Well,
okay.
HCAD in our neighborhood flip-flopped the land and house values probably 8 or 9 years ago, which meant we're tear downs now in that neighborhood, and that's how everything is being pushed as a tear down. As such, the taxes have gone up. And sometime in the future, I may die off and my kids become wealthy and the land value is what they say. But nonetheless, I work to pay the taxes. And this is another tax. If I have to put a proper surface, which is paving, asphalt and concrete, it's in this document, guys, then I have to pay money again. More out of my pocket, which hastens all of us who are in the older stock of housing to have to leave this neighborhood. And, you know, I don't want to. I plan to be there forever. But please look at the first page of this where changes to the ordinance have been recommended. And I think this would be a fair way of these cities sending out the letters, but having the letters say, hey, if you don't wish to be in this, you must it's reversed, opt out, but the way I put it down was that you had to really opt in. So if you wanted to be part of this, the city's letter would state, be part of this by sending in what you want. This would actually give you a real vote of the neighborhood, because if they didn't reply, they would be opting out instead of reverse, which is what I think opt-in means in most of this. There's a lot of other things happening on the city club level. I would love to have all of you guys be able to shepherd through the changes of the definition of a city club, because there were several of us. There's petitions going around the neighborhood right now getting signatures against this. But the position is we are surrounded with a super neighborhood that is within a neighborhood association. That neighborhood association has bylaws which are very restrictive and very I say closed corporation type bylaws. As such, the board there is running that civic club. I shouldn't say much more than that. You can read about it here, but leave us alone. Let the old people stay. And I'm not talking about age. I'm talking about people who've owned their homes for a while and stuff like that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for letting me talk.
All right.
I'm sorry, the time ran out. I can address you. I apologize to you.
No, that's
I really wanted to.
Councilmember, if you wish, if no one objects, this is your decision. I don't have
No
enough
objection.
time.
Thank you. I just wanted to thank you, Ms. Boone, and thank you, Mayor, for allowing me to do this. Because I don't, and from talking to Ms. Boone, and not just Ms. Boone, but other residents of the museum area of Mayor Parker, it was more of a communication of whether or not if this particular ordinance fits the community at this time. I don't even think it's the sign issue, because to the city's respect and to respect for the planning department, I think they've done their due diligence in following the rules with legal and everything. I know they've done that, because the sign was removed by someone, but they did actually put the sign up, so I want to make sure that that's for the record. But the other side there, I think the issue is because they put meters in the area as well, and what has happened is that now, where they're putting meters, and now there's overflow parking going into some of the other A-line streets. And so they're feeling that if you put no parking in yards with some, you have like a couple residents, not a whole lot, but they just feel like if this is an overflow, that they just don't want this particular rule to affect their neighborhood, because there's limited parking already in that museum area, just from talking to the residents. So right now, I'm still communicating with planning on how do we move, but right now, Ms. Boone, we have to move the way it is, and hopefully we'll look at ways how this would affect your neighborhood versus how it would not. But from just hearing the other constituents, they think it's going to affect it, Mayor, because of what's happening in museum. I know the Heinz company is coming in, they buying up a lot of, I mean, just a whole lot. The reason why they feel like that the ordinance is not a good idea at this time.
Councilmember absolutely, at the right time for advocacy, that what's going to happen is we'll present all the